Okay, here's another gas law problem. Let's read it and see where it takes us. Oxygen gas can be generated by the decomposition of potassium chlorate, as shown using this apparatus. The volume of the oxygen that got collected at 24 degrees Celsius. Oh, there's a temperature. Let's change it to Kelvin. At an atmospheric pressure of 7,262 millimeters of mercury. Now I could convert that into atmospheres, but I know since they collected it over water, water has a small partial pressure that I'll have to subtract out. Calculate the mass in grams of the oxygen gas that got obtained. Mass in grams. Well, I can go for moles. If I have half a mole, that would be 16 grams. So I'm going to get N first. And the partial pressure of the water vapor is 22.4 millimeters of mercury. So the pressure that actually came from the oxygen is more like about 730, 740 or so. So I'm going to find how many moles of gas I got collected by using PV equals nRT and solving for N, subtracting out the partial pressure of water in order to make sure I use the numbers. I also don't like the 128 milliliters. I have to use liters, atmosphere, mole, Kelvin. So I'm going to use 0.128 liters there. Let's go ahead and do it. Well, there's my strategy. I think I just described it. And there's my temperature, which I did convert to Kelvin. Here's my pressure, which I did adjust for by subtracting out the partial pressure of the water vapor. And I also converted it from millimeters of mercury into atmospheres, since 760 millimeters of mercury is an atmosphere. I skipped including units here, being bad. And there's our volume, which I converted to liters. There's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. Let's rearrange for N. PV equals RT, so P is our pressure, which is all cleaned up. V is our volume, which is all cleaned up. Everything's all cleaned up. R is just a number. Throw in the units. Good for me. I got all the units in there. And convince yourself that when you cancel everything, you will get N, which is how many moles of oxygen, which is not many. Then simply multiply by its molar mass, 32 grams per mole, to get how many how many grams we have. And is that what they asked? That's it. This should be our answer. And we ended up with 0.163 grams of oxygen.